everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today I have a book haul. I think it's been almost 3 months since my last book haul, but I have acquired a lot of books, especially recently. I kind of went crazy for my birthday month, but that's okay because I love books and I love filling up my shelves. So when I do my book hauls, I kind of like to categorize it as to where I got my books from. So we are going to start with my book of the month books. Let's see what month this was. For June, I got The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. I picked this book. This one was like really the only good choice, and I almost actually skipped the month of June, but I picked this one because I had heard of Marjan Kamali before. She wrote The Stationery Shop, and I've heard that that book is really, really great. And this is a historical fiction similar to that. It says it's a heartfelt, epic new novel of friendship, betrayal, and redemption set against 3 transformative decades in Tehran, Iran. I love multi-generational stories. I think it's a friendship, not so much sisters, but possibly friends that become like sisters. Looking forward to this one. I love a good historical fiction. Then I have already shown this, I think, on my channel, but the books I got in my July box for book of the month, I went a little crazy again because I got books that I wanted, and just what I wanted to do, okay? I don't think I need to explain myself. So my actual choice for July was The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. I picked this one because I had read her first book, The Wishing Game, and really loved it. This is a magical realism, kind of like the Chronicles of Narnia, and that had me sold. Then I got a free book for my birthday month, and I chose Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I have already read this one. It is one of my favorite romances of all time, and I never owned a copy, so I am so happy I finally have a copy to put on my shelves. Then I am really in a romance mood, and so I got the new Ali Hazelwood, Not in Love. I love Ali Hazelwood's books. The STEMinist part is really fun, but I just really don't mind the steam either. It's great. So I'm excited to read this one, and I've heard that this one is maybe her steamiest. A forbidden secret affair proves that all's fair in love and science. I think this one's a little bit different in that the main male is not in science. He's like a business guy and is like coming in to buy her building or something that she works in. So that's a first, I think, for Ali Hazelwood, but still looking forward to it. And then I went a little off the cuff here. I got Butcher and Blackbird by Lynn Painter, which is the first in the Ruinous Love trilogy. It is a serial killer romance. I know, sounds a little crazy, but I think I might like it. I've heard there are possible triggers that I need to look up, but yeah, it's a dark romance full of murder, chaos, and sizzling chemistry. Every serial killer needs a friend. Every game must have a winner. I'm a little disappointed in myself because I threw this box around and now this dust jacket is all bent, but I'm sure we can force it back to its original form. All right, so then we'll go to books that I purchased myself, and we'll do full price books, and then we'll go to the Friends of the Library sale where I get books for super cheap. Back in May, I think, or when it first came out, I got Funny Story by Emily Henry during Independent Bookstore Day. My sister and I both got this book at an indie up in the cities, and it's Emily Henry. It's a romance. I don't need any more explanation than that. But reviews that I've seen of this book, people absolutely love it. I just finished another, I have it here actually, that I hauled. I just finished Beach Read by Emily Henry, and possibly one of my favorite romances of all time, adding it to the list. But I just think Emily Henry is such a great writer. So these two will be going on my shelves. Already read Beach Read, still need to read Funny Story. Then I just finally gave in to buying this myself. It was the only Kristen Hanna I didn't own. Well, yeah, pretty much the only Kristen Hanna I didn't own that I really, really wanted. Like one of the 5 stars that I've given to Kristen Hanna books. This is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It is a World War II historical fiction about 2 sisters who help the resistance in their own ways. Super, super phenomenal. My Patreon was doing just kind of an impromptu buddy read of this. I didn't actually get to reading it with them because I got behind and their chunks were a little bit too big for me. When I read this again, I want to physically read it and kind of take my time with it because it's been such a long time since I read it. And so I want to savor the experience the second time around. Yeah, I'm glad I can finally add this to my Chris and Anna shelf right there. Then just very recently, I went to Barnes & Noble with a friend. We were celebrating both of our birthdays. Hers is July 13th, mine is the 24th. So we kind of went in between and did some book shopping together. And I got Kennedy Ryan's books. I got Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us. I just really trust one of my patrons, Chelsea, who says that I will love this book. Chelsea and I have very similar reading tastes, and this, I think, is one of her favorites. It's one of her patron picks that she put into my jar for my TBR game, and I think I will really love this romance. I really don't know much about it. A scorching novel about hope and healing, and what it truly means to love for a lifetime from a powerhouse writer. Their love was supposed to last forever, but when life delivered blow after devastating blow, Yasmin and Josiah Wade found that love alone couldn't solve or save everything. Oh yeah, this is a second chance romance, which I really do enjoy that trope. I don't know much about the sequel, but I think they're like companions more so than sequels. This follows a character in this. I hope I'm right. Okay, now all of the books that I've purchased from library book sales or bookstores. I'll try to explain as I go. I got Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I had actually gotten this out from the library at the beginning of the summer, but when I see a book for $2 that I want to read, I just like to buy it and add it to my shelves. This, I believe, is a retelling of Harry Potter, but where Harry and Draco get together. Yeah. Look at the map on the inside. I'm looking forward to it. I actually haven't read anything by Rainbow Rowell yet, but interested to try. I got The Sun Does Shine, How I Found Life and Freedom on Death Row by Anthony Ray Hinton. I'm wanting to pick this up actually fairly soon because I am going to read Bryan Stevenson's memoir called Just Mercy, and Bryan Stevenson represented Anthony Ray Hinton and actually got him off of death row. So I kind of want to read those two together. I saw this at the library book sale when I had already planned on reading Just Mercy. I was like, of course I'm going to pick this up for $2. Of course. I got another historical fiction, The Gown by Jennifer Robson. It is about the dressmakers who made Princess Elizabeth's gown when she got married in 1947 London. I really like historical fiction set in London, and so I think this could work for me. This was actually one I got at a sale in the cities called Bookham, and I got a lot more books at Bookham, but I think I gave them all to my mom to read first, and so those will come in a haul soon. My mom was like, I don't have any books, what should I read? And so I just let her keep kind of all the books I got. Oh, there are a few that I have, I'll show you. But at the Bookham sale, I got Snowflower and Secret Fan by Lisa C. I haven't tried Lisa C at all, but when a book shows up by an author that I want to try, I usually buy it. This is in 19th century China. A girl named Lily at the tender age of 7 is paired with a Lao Tong, or old same, in an emotional match that will last a lifetime. The Lao Tong, Snowflower, introduces herself by sending Lily a silk fan on which she has written a poem in Nushu, a unique language that Chinese women created in order to communicate in secret, away from the influence of men. As the years pass, Lily and Snowflower send messages on the fan and compose stories on handkerchiefs, reaching out of isolation to share their hopes, dreams, and accomplishments. Sounds really good. My mom already read this one and gave it back to me and really enjoyed it. I found 3 others that I got at the Bookham sale. The first is My Name is Lucy Barton by Elizabeth Strout. For some reason, Elizabeth Strout has been an author that I wanted to try, and this year I have purchased like all of her books. I found them at library book sales, and I really hope I end up liking her, or else I just own all of her books and I'll probably end up getting rid of them. But this is the first in a series. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but It follows this character, Lucy Barton. She's recovering slowly from what should have been a simple operation. Her mother, to whom she hasn't spoken for many years, comes to see her. Gentle gossip about people from Lucy's childhood in Amgosh. Oh, it's the Amgosh series, that's right. Illinois seems to reconnect them, but just below the surface lie the tension and longing that have informed every aspect of Lucy's life. Her escape from her troubled family, her desire to become a writer, her marriage, her love for her 2 daughters. Knitting this powerful narrative together is the brilliant storytelling voice of Lucy herself, keenly observant, deeply human, and truly unforgettable. I really think I'm going to like Elizabeth Strout's storytelling, and I'm excited to get started. What should I start with? For you Elizabeth Strout readers, which book should I start with? I got Still Me by Jojo Moyes, which is the 3rd in her Me Before You series. Oh, and I'm just noticing I actually have Me Before You and After You, so it's great that I'm completing my series with Still Me. I also have not read this one yet, but we just continue to follow Louisa Clark, who was a caregiver for a paraplegic in the first book. It's been a while since I've read them, but I really like Jojo Moyes and her storytelling. And haha, another Elizabeth Strout book I found. This is Olive Again, which I think is the sequel to Olive Kittredge. Yeah, I'm not going to talk much about it, but lots of Elizabeth Strout books in this haul. Now we're back to just my library in town. They have a sale every single month. It's a little bit ridiculous. Like, I go every single month. I don't know why I do. But, you know, sometimes there are new books. They also have donations the first of every month. So there are sometimes new things, and I find great things. Riddle me this. I think I own 3 copies of Guernsey, but I did buy another one. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Barrows. This is one of my favorite books of all time. Historical fiction. World War II, set on the island of Guernsey off of England. And I just kind of pick this up whenever I see it for cheap and give it as gifts because I want people to enjoy this story as much as I do. Similarly, I have already read The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. I guess not similarly in that I owned a copy, but I wanted to own a copy myself because this is one of my favorites by her. This is about 3 women who helped solve the Enigma code at Bletchley Park. So, love this book and wanted a copy for myself so that I can lend it out to people. Similarly, this time for real, The Midnight Library. I didn't own a copy of this before, but I wanted to have one for my shelves to lend out to people. This is a great story by Matt Haig about a woman who decides she doesn't want to live anymore, but kind of in the in-between, between life and death, she tries out all of these different lives at the Midnight Library. Super good story. Loved it. This one was a huge dud. I think. I don't know. I honestly think I might unhaul it fairly soon. This is called When the Wind Blows by Zachary Allen Fox. This was in a blind date with a book that I got at my library. This was the first time I'd ever seen this at the library book sale, and I wanted to give it a try. I was in a mystery thriller kick, and this was titled as mystery thriller when I opened it, and this is just a book I have never heard of, an author I've never heard of, and when I looked it up on Goodreads, there were like hardly any reviews. So, I don't know. If you're a big fan of When the Wind Blows, let me know, but otherwise I think I might be unhauling it without reading it. A few more from my library. I got The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. Erik Larson, I think it's huge right now because a new book has come out, but this is about the Chicago World Fair and I believe a murder that takes place there. It's a true tale of 2 men, the architect of the World's Fair and the serial killer who used the fair to lure his victims to their death. It sounds really good. I think I've heard good things. I don't know. I wanted to have it. And then this was like a nostalgia buy. I wanted the Inkheart trilogy. I think it's just a trilogy. Inkheart, Ink Spell, and Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. I read these in middle school or maybe upper elementary and remembered loving them. Such an awesome fantasy story where characters from a girl's favorite storybook come out into her world. And I just wanted them for my shelves and maybe could read them to my kids someday. I went to one more library bookstore. This one was in Rochester. They always have their store open, and I got a few great things with my friend. I got the second in the Neapolitan Quartet by Elena Ferrante. This is the story of a new name. No, I have not tried My Brilliant Friend, the first one in the quartet, but I just have really, really high hopes. And so whenever I see the book, because I feel like they're not easy to come by, I just want to pick it up. And it was $4. So hopefully this will give me a push to read the first so that I can read this one. I got Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I have only read Normal People by Sally Rooney, and I'd like to give her another shot. I really liked Normal People. I think I gave it 4 stars. She just has very beautiful and lyrical writing, which I think some people don't agree with or get along with, but I think I could like it. I did like it in Normal People, and I think I could like it again in another one of her books. Okay, this one I think I knew about but had completely forgotten about. Gabrielle Zevin has a middle grade book called Elsewhere. And I love Gabrielle Zevin. Well, I've only read one by her, but I need to try other books by her. Maybe I should do an entire reading vlog dedicated to the books I own by her but haven't read. Because there's A.J. Fikry, there's Young Jane Young, and now there's Elsewhere. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Coming soon. Stay tuned. Yeah, I saw this on the middle grade shelf and I wanted to give it a try. How can 15-year-old Liz let go of the only life she has ever known and embrace a new one? Is it possible that a life lived in reverse is no different from a life lived forward? Oh, so there's gonna be some play on time with this book. Cool. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I really like her writing. At least I did in Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And then I couldn't pass on this copy, beautiful copy of Dear Mrs. Bird by A.J. Pierce. I don't know much about this, but I think, yep, World War II, historical fiction set in London. I think I'm really going to like it. And I think Krista read it and loved it. And Krista and I agree on historical fiction usually. So, yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, are there letters? Yeah, there are letters, which is another thing I love about books. Okay, so that wraps up all the books I got at library book sales, and now we will go to books that were gifted to me in one way or another. My mom and dad live in a rather small condo, and when they purchase books, they don't like to keep them just because they don't have the space, and so I often get books from them. So I think I have 3 books from them. The first is The Woman with the Blue Star by Pam Jenoff, a historical fiction surrounding World War II, and I believe it is about a Jewish woman in a Krakow ghetto, and she has to wear a blue star. My mom said it was phenomenal. Have I read Pam Jenoff? I don't think I have, but I'm looking forward to this one. They gave me The Sun by Jo Nesbo, and I was kind of turned off by it, just like by the look of it, and for some reason I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't like this kind of book, but my mom said give it a try. It was really good. It says the author of the best-selling Harry Hole series gives us an electrifying tale of vengeance set amid Oslo's brutal hierarchy of corruption. I don't know. I trust my parents, so I'm gonna keep it. Then I got this weird, like, tall mass market paperback of Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. I know this was turned into a movie or a TV series recently, and I would like to give it a try. It's kind of a mystery, I believe. Yeah, your mother is missing. What would you tell the police? Even if the most obvious suspect was your father. Sounds good. Then Willie has gotten me a couple of books over the last few months. The first is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This was in a box that he got me for Mother's Day. It was this like blind date with a book box that he got on Etsy, and this is a romantasy, and I'm excited to get more romantasy on my shelves, as you will see in a second. But yeah, I think that the creator of this box did a good job picking a book for me. I've heard good things about this, and it's a Persephone and Hades retelling, I believe. "Let me worship you," he said. His request felt sinful and devious, and she reveled in it. She answered yes. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, it's going to be that kind of book. But yes, it is Persephone and Hades, and I know that this is a start to a long series, but that's okay. And then he went on a marching band trip, and he just decided to bring me back a book from Barnes & Noble instead of any other sort of souvenir. So he got me Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a cowboy romance and the first in a series that I've been wanting to try. What's the series called? Can't remember. I should know it. I should. But this says the rules were simple: keep his hands off his agent's daughter and stay out of trouble. But now he's stuck with her. There's only one bed, and well, rules are made to be broken. The one bed trope. I know it's so tacky and cheesy, but I love it. This will be good. I think it'll be good. I really want to read the entire series. Okay, where to go next? My mom took me book shopping on my birthday, and I kind of showed these books in a vlog recently, my Read It or Not challenge vlog, but I will show them to you quickly. We've got the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I have already read this book, but I wanted this one to complete my trilogy, and now I own every single book by Abby Jimenez, and I'm happy to own them all because she is, if not my favorite, one of my favorite romance authors, and she's from Minnesota, so I love her. This one is about a famous pop star who's traveling, and somehow this woman finds his dog, and she takes care of his dog, and they communicate and fall in love, long distance, kind of, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, but really loved it. To continue on the romance journey, I got The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, as well as a novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I have heard that she kind of has a little bit of magical realism in her romances. This one is about a woman who lives in an apartment, and when she steps foot in the apartment, she goes back 7 years, but it's only in the apartment that is in the past. But there's a man there, and she falls in love with him. This one, I believe, is a woman who falls into her favorite romance novel and then falls in love with the protagonist. Like, that sounds awesome too. Sounds like a dream. So I think I'm really gonna like Ashley Poston, but looking forward to giving her a try. I got the second in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, or the Nightborn duet. I don't know how all of these work. I think it's a series of duets. But this is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. I own The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I really enjoyed it, surprisingly. Gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with, why can't I think of their names? Aurea and Vincent. Yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger, and so I'm excited to have this book. To continue my romantasy journey, I got this chunker of a book, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I have heard that this is like the new romantasy to go to, but I've also heard that it has really lyrical writing, and I enjoy that because I'm a literary fiction girly. So I'm gonna try this one. I know that Kara from Kara's Bookshelf really loves this book, and she said it could be her favorite of the year. And I'm gonna take that recommendation and go with it. So, yay! But holy smokes, how big is this book? How big? How many pages are you? 690. Almost 700. And the last book my mom got me when we went to Target that day was Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I have wanted to read this ever since it came out. And I always toyed with buying it whenever I was out book shopping. I saw it at Sam's Club multiple times, at Target multiple times, and I finally gave in and got it. This is about an octopus named Marcellus and his friendship with a woman who works at an aquarium, at his aquarium. And I think he helps her with her grief. It's gonna be perfect. Last but certainly not least, I got this amazing box from one of my patrons, Jess. Thank you so much, Jess. When I opened this, I was just like in shock and awe of the beauty that you made inside of this box. So I did open this and previewed what was in it. But she had each book individually wrapped. She gave me little bookish goodies. One thing I don't have in the box because I'm using it currently is a book sleeve. So she gave me that too, but Jessica, thank you so much. So let's do the little trinkets first. She gave me some bookmarks, and you're not going to be able to see it because my face. Bookmarks and stickers. She gave some stickers that are good for the kids and some for me. She's so thoughtful with these gifts that she gave me. Also a couple of bookmarks, a reading list bookmark, and just a pretty laminated floral or leaf bookmark. I love these, both of these. Although I read more books than what can fit on here, so I'm unsure how to use this reading list bookmark. Then some books. 4 books. The first is Crumbs by Danny Sterling. This is a middle grade graphic novel, and I think it is like witchy, and so I'm definitely wanting to read it in October, Halloween time, because it'll be perfect for that time. Yeah, listen to this. Falling in love just got sweeter. In a very special town, there's an even more unusual bakery with a selection of baked treats handcrafted to help your dreams come true. For Ray, a quiet young woman with special powers of her own, the order is always the same, a hot tea with a delicious side of romance. When Ray meets Lori, the kind barista who aspires to be a professional musician, she gets a real taste of love for the first time. But even with a spark of magic, romance isn't so simple. Both Ray and Lori are chasing their own dreams, and even when Ray starts to see the future, she can't predict her fate with Lori. Maybe it's not middle grade, but I don't care. I'm still gonna love it. She sent me Tilly in Technicolor by Maisie Eddings. This is a romance, and actually when I looked it up on Goodreads earlier, it has like a 4.1 average rating, so really looking forward to this. I believe it's a, well, it says on the front, he keeps everything ordered, she's all over the place, together they're in perfect focus. I think there's like photography involved. Tilly Twomley is desperate for change, white-knuckling her way through high school with flawed executive functioning from ADHD, has left her burned out and ready to start fresh. Working as an intern for her perfect older sister's startup isn't exactly how Tilly wants to spend her summer, but the required travel around Europe promises a much-needed change of scenery as she plans her future. Yeah, and then it goes on to talk about Oliver, which will be the love interest. I assume he's on the trip too, but a trip around Europe and love and photography sounds good. Next, a book I have been wanting to read since it came out, and I'm so excited to have it on my shelves and get to it soon. I mean, there's like 40 plus books here. Am I ever gonna get to them all? Maybe, but they make me happy. Okay, this is Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. This is, I think, a multi-generational story about a Southern Black family in Memphis. A spellbinding debut tracing 3 generations of a Southern Black family and one daughter's discovery that she has the power to change their legacy. It sounds perfect for me, honestly. I love multi-generational family stories. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Whoa. And lastly, another one that has piqued my interest a lot over the years and just, I never gave it a try. And I've also never tried this author, but I think it could work. This is Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. This one is an enchanting tale of lost souls, lonely strangers, secrets that shape us, and how the right flock can guide you home. Oh, maybe like found family-ish, but also some magical realism. It's gonna be great. You guys, you know how I always like hold up my books at the end of a haul? That's not going to happen. I can show you the destruction that is my chair. I am so excited to finally put these books on my shelves. As you can tell, things are a little bit in flux. New bookshelves are coming, so look forward to a reorganizing of my library soon. But I'm so happy and lucky to have all of these books. I have been told before that reading books and buying books are different hobbies, and For a while, I didn't want to purchase books, but now I really love having books surrounding me on my shelves that make me happy. And so that is how I'm justifying all of these purchases and books coming into my home. I have thought in the future I would like to maybe do something similar to what Chloe from Always Booked has done with an in and out. So every month she talks about the books she has brought in to her library, but also the ones she has unhauled. Oh, I just knocked over books. I think that would be fun and maybe a little bit more manageable than like these 40 to 50 book hauls. Let me know what you prefer. Would you prefer a haul every single month or one every quarter like I've kind of been doing? And let me know, out of all of these books, which ones should I start with? I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye.